Good afternoon. It's late afternoon here on the 26th, Saturday the 26th of April. This will be going out tomorrow, the 27th, I would imagine. Anyway, you hear it when you hear it. It's talking about Syria. Syria is the issue we are talking about today. I've got three perspectives for you, one from an Alawite girl, one from a secular Sunni man, and one from a man working with Ayatollah Sham. Sunni again. Okay, so and please judge for yourself between these voices you're hearing. The Alawite girl. There is no food to stay alive. Even if they send money from overseas by methods like Western Union, we receive just half of what they send. Okay, now that, by the way, is a fact. I know that half is withheld before the ordinary people get hold of the money that's transferred. We can't go shopping. There is no place that is safe. Women are being kidnapped from Tartus and being taken to Idlib, where they are sold as slaves. We can't see any evidence that anyone other than Jolani, al-Shara's war name, al-Shara, the president of Syria, anyone other than Jolani is responsible. In Syria, the people have been struggling for 14 years. We can't wait another 14 years for peace. The Syrian people need basic human rights. We need a modern country, not another Afghanistan with another Tora Bora mountains. Turkey is trying to take on Iran's role, but women's rights are the true indication of the Syrian government's intention. However, the important thing for you to know is that there is no food. People pick herbs and grasses to eat them. People are starving. So that's an Alawite woman's view. Here's a secular Sunni view. There are over 20,000 foreign fighters in Syria. What will happen to the Christians in Malula if these people are not controlled? 13,000 Alawites have already left. I would have thought the figure was way higher than that, but still. The Kurds don't know who to fight. We have no idea who is in charge of the country. There are two nominal warlords, al-Shara in the center and Ahmed Auda in the south, but neither truly controls Syria. At least al-Shara's goal is clear. He wishes to be sole ruler of Syria. But meanwhile, the women are being taken to Idlib. There will be an uprising unless the people in control change their behavior. Okay, the two voices. Now a longer voice from a good friend of mine who is HTS employed, I guess you'd say, was a strong supporter of HTS, a Sunni supporter of HTS in the early days, and now less so. The situation has completely changed. They have now started the way they intend to continue. They appoint people without proper communication, and until now, no passports have been issued. At the port, 6,000 seafarers wait passports because they are changing the design on the passport covers. Meanwhile, the people being appointed to mid-level management positions often live in Turkey, not in Syria. He's referring to the practice of employing people. The area of Turkey on the coast above Syria that was once Syrian controlled and is now a source of pro-Turkish Syrians to employ in Syria. This makes sense. They have failed to provide security in the towns in different parts of Syria. Many people have arms. Also, there is a new militia group we see around. They have foreign fighters. This is the new militia group coming in. and I think that those reports are likely true. A lot of foreign fighters coming into Syria, money to be made, and there are few controls on stopping them coming in from Turkey. We are facing two powers opposite to each other. The Alawite community is facing a large burden, plus there is part of the old regime who won't accept the new status quo. The new administration can't manage to control things. The foreign minister is a good man, but he's wasted as foreign minister. He needs to be on the ground to manage security. Well, that's interesting. Everything is managed by Turkey. There is a man called Abu Taif who sits in the Four Seasons Hotel in Damascus and manages the foreign fighters. I've been in the Four Seasons Hotel. God, I thought the UN occupied the entire building as far as I can remember, but perhaps those days have gone. The UN used to block book the entire hotel. God. And UN people used to sit there behind the blast walls in comfort and never stepping outside into the streets of Damascus. I remember a time when I was just about the only Westerner in the streets of Damascus. But anyway, never mind. The point is, the Four Seasons Hotel, apparently now, the man Abu Taif sits in the Four Seasons Hotel in Damascus and manages the foreign fighters. A luxurious place to sit. Lucky Abu Taif. The inside fighters are controlled by a man called Omar Tushtari. Tushtari? Anyway, forgive my pronunciation. Meanwhile, now he goes off at a tangent. Meanwhile, there were two drones used to attack the top of the Russian base in Maimin. This is the first time this has happened. The Russians, they shot them down. There was no identification from the ground, and the Russians remained silent on the issue. There are two options regarding the source of the drones. Either it's Ayman Jabba, because he was using drones in the days before the fall of Pasha, or it's the Islamists themselves. Well, on the ground, it's like Pokemon, he says. On the ground, it's like Pokemon. That's what he says. Nobody knows what's happening. Everyone is monitoring the situation. I think the Russians are giving the new government 6 months to get their act together. The Russians have kept some Alawites under their protection. Well, they have. The Idlib people are the eagles in the new administration. The Idlib people are the eagles. Anyone who tries to stabilize things, they go on behaving like eagles. Well, anyway, that's what he said. Al-Shara is not completely in control. He tries to show the international community he is in control. A lot of the money raised, taxes, port fees, and so on, go to Idlib, not to the central government. Well, as regards those stories of women being kidnapped and sold as slaves, we have investigated them. To be honest, there is no kidnapping. The ladies came back after 2 or 3 or 4 days. So what he's trying to say is that these are ladies who ran away because they were frightened by the fighting or because their husbands were bullying them, and then they reappeared after 2 or 3 or 4 days, and these were false stories. You must judge for yourself. But there are an awful lot of stories about women being sold as slaves. I've heard them from two or three different sources. So he says, there is a problem, but there is fake news as well. The Idlib people are not straight, but at the same time, the Alawites cannot believe they've lost the power. There is a part of the Alawite community that is under pressure because of poverty. We should give them jobs, he says. And there certainly is. But we should not believe everything the Alawites say, though things are not good. They have to start to stabilize the situation. The HTS administration is not qualified to lead the country, and we have to be careful of the jihadists. And he says something curious. The Iranians are trying to be part of al-Shara's team, getting at al-Shara through al-Shara's brother and a guy called Shabanda, as well, Izzat al-Shabanda, who is close to al-Shara. And this kind of social friendship is the way the Iranians are trying to get in on the act again. According to him, this is a dangerous part of this current movement, things that are going on. Many businessmen who are close to Iran are still operating in Syria, who were close to Iran under the old administration. If the jihadists unite with those groups, it will be a very difficult time for the region. Yeah, well, that's what he says. I don't know how likely that is, but that's what he says. And he adds, al-Shara has no experience, and Qatar and Turkey are backing him. Well, okay, so this is the situation. The situation is dire. Whatever is true or not true about women being sold as slaves, what is true is that a lot of people are very desperately hungry, starving, and what is also true is that there's total lack of security. The country is unstable. People are frightened. Are things getting better? I hope so, but I don't want to give anybody any illusions here. There's a long way to go before we see a stable Syria, and I hope and pray that day will come. God bless you, God keep you, and thank you for listening. Thank you.